Hi, I'm Deborah Hamilton, and welcome to the MAAP program webinar. This is a webinar that I've given for about 2 years, and now I am actually expanding the webinar's reach. I'm going to create a Facebook closed group that people can come to for a small stipend every month to make sure that they're able to create their MAAP plan. This webinar talks about the importance of a MAAP plan to navigate the journey your pets take when you can't care for them. This is a subject that is near and dear to my heart. I'm Deborah Voivoda Hamilton, and I'm a mediator of conflicts between people over animals. And sometimes those conflicts involve what happens to the pet if the pet's owner has an accident, gets sick, dies, becomes incapacitated. We have to talk among people on what's the best outcome for the pets, because often the people who are injured or who die never made a plan for the pet and just assumed things would fall into place. That hasn't been my experience with my clients. So I wrote this program not because I had clients that didn't plan for their pets. I wrote this program because I hadn't planned for my pets. In 2013, I broke my ankle. One of my girls, I have Irish setters, got out and there was a fresh snow. I said to myself, Deborah, go outside. You'll be able to see where she got out, fresh snow. I walked in the back of my property, politely tripped and fell over a branch and broke my ankle. As I was laying in the snow, looking up at the sky, asking God exactly what he was thinking, didn't he see my calendar, I realized not only did I have to walk back to the house in the snow, the slippery snow, with a broken ankle, but who was going to take care of my dogs? It really hit home when I got home from the hospital in a cast. My husband was taking care of me, my son was taking care of me, and they really didn't want to take care of my pets. They wanted to take care of me. And so I had to scramble to try to find someone who would take care of my 9 dogs. It was a complete and utter come to Jesus, aha, oh my God, the shoemaker's children have no shoes moment. Here I was with 9 dogs, helping people resolve conflicts that arise because they made no plans for their animals, and I hadn't made any plan for my animal. So in the 8 weeks I was laid up, I created the MAAP plan, navigating the journey your pet takes when you can't care for them, short-term or long-term. Short-term being the virus, the cold, the broken ankle, the broken hand, the broken wrist, whatever, recovery from surgery, short-term. Long-term, Alzheimer's, strokes, cancer care. You want your pet with you. It's the one thing that'll keep you grounded. But if you don't make a plan, that's not going to happen. People are going to step in and do what they think is best, regardless of what you think is best. So this webinar and the following program that I'm going to offer will help you choose how your pets will be cared for in the event something happens to you. They cannot take care of themselves. They depend on you to take these crucial, proactive steps to care for them. So let's get started, because I know that everybody's time is precious. These webinars can go on for hours and hours, and believe me, I could go on for hours and hours talking about people who I have helped and situations people have found themselves in that they could not believe they found themselves in. But I'm going to run through the MAAP program. I'm going to touch on the Facebook group that I'm creating so that you can create your own MAAP plan. I've put this webinar on for 3 years now, since 2013, and I find that people don't really have the momentum to continue to get to that place where they have the plan. And so I decided I would take my own time. I would create a private Facebook group that people can subscribe to for less than the cost of a 15-pound bag of good dog food so that they would keep at it. They could come and go as they pleased. The webinars that would be obtainable on the Facebook group would be open to everyone for life, as long as they're paying their $19.97 a month. They can absolutely stay and create their program. You can get it done in 1 month. You can get it done in 6 months. It doesn't matter. All that matters is that you have a plan that will help your pets be cared for short-term and long-term. So let's dive in now to the MAAP plan, because it is something that you know you need to do, know you can do pieces of, but just may need the camaraderie and the direction that a group of like-minded people will provide. So let's get started. The MAAP plan is spelled M-A-A-P, and it's meant to be that map that navigates the journey your pet or pets will take if something happens to you. So if we start with the M, it means you have to actually sit down and make a plan. What is it you want the care of your pets to look like if something happened to you? How much money would you be able to set aside? What would you like to be done health-wise? Do you want all stops to be pulled out, or do you want to be a minimalist and allow the dog to live their life to the fullest and then allow them to die with dignity? None of your wishes will be followed necessarily if you don't make a plan. So we sit down and we talk about what needs to be in the plan. What's a gotta have? I have to have all the dogs stay together. I have to make sure 2 dogs do not get put together because they don't like each other. I've got to have someone who's going to do dog dancing because my dog loves to dance, or agility because my dog loves agility. And then there's the nice to haves. Well, I'd really like them to eat boiled chicken every night. I'd really like for them to walk 2 hours every day because that's what we do. But if someone lives in the city and can provide them with a great house and has a dog walker that walks them with a bunch of other dogs for 2 hours every day, not as a single, that might work for your dog. Dogs are so wonderfully flexible. Cats, a little less flexible, but still can adjust if given the right scenario to adjust. So you've got to decide what's the plan you want to make for your pet. It's very important. It's not going to be done if you just think about it. I just thought about it. I actually thought about the plan I wanted for my pets over glasses of wine with my girlfriends. And when I broke my ankle, they couldn't take care of my pets. One of my fill-in people had just broken her wrist. The other one was renovating her kennel. And so there was nobody to take my dogs, even if I had made a plan. That's why when we do the plan, we always have 3 possible caregivers plus a spare. The caregiver that you are going to have, that's your last resort. It could be a shelter. It could be an animal rescue group. Whatever it is, it's that last ditch effort. So for those of us who have purebred dogs, it could be your National Club Purebred Rescue, so that they could find a home where they could hold the dog while you're recuperating. This would be the last resort. But you would be able to find people if you make a plan. If you have that plan in hand, you'll be able to then reach out to people and say, listen, Deborah, this is what I'd like to do for my dog or my cat. Let's not even think about the fact that the dogs and cats live for 10 to 15 years. People who have wonderful parrots or who have horses seriously need to make a plan for their animals, not easily rehomed, and live a really, really long time. If you have a parrot, you better have 3 people, all of whom are younger than you, to watch that parrot if something happens to you. Because there is a very short list of rescues for parrots and an even shorter list of quality rescues for your beloved companion horse, the one you ride every Saturday and Sunday, the one you go and really make things better with because you take a ride. I often think about the commercial. It talks about Neulasta, and the woman is wearing the Neulasta patch, and she can go home and be with her loved ones. And who do they have in the TV commercial? Her husband and her dog. We all know that if in fact we are recovering from something, we recover much better if our pets are with us. All the human-animal bond studies show that if you keep your pet with you, you will recover faster, you will become stronger, you will remain stronger, you will remain more active. It's not true that if you turn 60, you can't get another puppy. It's not true. If you're game and training it, if you have people around who can help you, and even if you don't have people around who can help you, if you join the Facebook group, we will help you find those people that are around you who you don't know are ready, willing, and able to help you maintain a pet in your life. So stay with us, because this is going to be the most important webinar you watch so that you can keep that beloved companion beside you and their future beloved companions beside you, even if you're 80 or 90, because it really makes a huge difference in your quality of life. So we went through the M, and that's make a plan. Simple, gotta make a plan. We all know that. You've got to make a plan no matter what you do. The second letter is A, address the needs of each pet. I am sure you are like me and have a Rolodex of what each pet in your life likes. The food they like, the treats they like, the toy they like, the other dogs they like, the cats they like, the weather they like, the weather they don't like, the dogs they don't like, the cats they don't like, the food they don't like. Right here, it's in the Rolodex, it's up here, that's where it is. You've got to put that on paper. You have got to create a dossier for each pet so that the people who have to care for them know how to keep them in equilibrium, how to keep them the way they should be had you been able to care for them. It's what you owe them. It's the only thing you owe them, is to maintain their life the way it would be if you were there caring for them. It is the most important thing. Address the needs of each animal. And what we do in the program is not only do we address the needs of each animal, we explore things that you might not even remember you do. Because someone's going to say something or think of something and you go, oh my God, I didn't even think of that. Yeah, they can't eat that because that gives them diarrhea, or that gets into their system and causes a blockage. Sometimes working in a group creates that ability to really address the needs of your pet while others are addressing the needs of their pet. So that's the first A. So make a plan and address the needs of your pet. The second A is appoint caregivers and appoint them in order so they know who's first, who's second, who's third, who's remainder. That will come into play because they will know each other. They will know, okay, so I'm first, Deborah's first, but I'm away. So I can call Susie, and Susie will step into my shoes and take care of your pet because something's happened. And if Susie can't care, Susie knows that Barbara is the one who's supposed to care for the pets, and she'll call her. It's that daisy chain that we all remember, that you call one, that doesn't work, you call the next one, that doesn't work, you call the next one. If you don't have that daisy chain in place, your dog may or your cat may live without food and water for several days, maybe even weeks. I think about the animals of the people who perished in 9/11. They left that morning not knowing they wouldn't be coming home that evening. How many of them lived alone? How many of them hadn't given a key to anyone and their pets were in their apartment and nobody knew? It took hours, days, sometimes weeks to recognize that these animals were alone, unattended, and needing a home. Not that I'm hoping or wishing or thinking that another tragedy like that will happen, but it could. You could be driving cross country and something happens. You could be in an airplane, something could happen. You could be raking the leaves on your front lawn and something could happen. If people don't know that you have a pet, nothing will be done to care for those pets. In my programs, in my retreats, I actually have cards that I put out so that people can put the cards in their wallets to let people know they have pets. Denise Fleck and I have created a wonderful retreat where we take people only 6 to 10. They often come with their pets, and we build their MAAP plan. We call it the best vacation because you are taking it with your pet and you're creating that plan that cares for your pet. In that retreat, we talk about the 6 Ds. And it could be the 8 Ds because it's Denise and Deborah. But the 6 Ds are death, disaster, disability, delay, disease, and something else. I apologize. Can't remember it right now, but it'll come to me because it always does. So it's death, disaster, disease, delay, disability, divorce. I knew it would come to me. Death, delay, disease, disability, divorce, and I'm having a moment. But I hope you recognize that these are really important. Death, disease, delay, disability, divorce, and, well, it'll come to me. Review this webinar and you'll hear all 6 because I had them. I'm really, really thrilled that we have this retreat because it helps people understand what could happen that could jeopardize the care of their pets and why they need to make a plan. So we have make a plan, address the needs of your pet, appoint caregivers, and those caregivers need to know who each other are and who goes first, second, and third. Finally, you need to publish your MAAP plan. I'm telling you, if you make it and you don't publish it, it will have less ability to care for your pets the way you want. I had a client who actually had made the MAAP plan, put it in a drawer, and not shown anyone. She just assumed everyone would remember that they were the caregiver, and she put it in a drawer. She unexpectedly passed away, and someone came in and placed all of her dogs in a way she didn't want them placed. But there was nothing anyone could do because the MAAP plan was found long after the pets had been placed, because she hadn't published it with her executor of her will. She hadn't published it with her attorney who wrote her will. She hadn't published it with, say, her veterinarian. She hadn't published it with anyone. So one of the most important pieces of the MAAP plan after you make it is to publish it, is to let the people know what it is you want done in the event you can't care for your pets long-term, short-term. So now we've covered the 4 pieces of the MAAP plan. I often put an S on the end of the MAAP plan because you have to schedule a review of what your pets need, what plan you want to care for them, but also the ability of the caregivers to continue to step into your shoes. It's a yearly review. I'm telling you, you have to do it every year because people's lives change and you might not even know it. I speak so often at independent living facilities where people have little 20-pound dogs and they've been there for 10, 15 years and management has never checked whether or not the person who they put on their application to take the dog if something happened to them is really still able to take the dog if something happens to them. And so you're leaving the dog in limbo, or the cat, or the bird, or the horse. I live here in Westchester County, and the Bedford riding lanes are right up the road. Everyone takes such beautiful care of their horses. unless I have sat down and talked to the members of the stable, I guarantee you those people have not made a plan for their pets, both if they're alive and if they're dead. And I want to tell you, the funds you set aside to care for your pet have to be protected from Medicare. So that's something we cover on the Facebook group. We cover all the things that you have to know when you're putting things together. What we create is something you take to your trust and estate professional, because they don't even know how to create a plan that cares for your pets. That's all I create. I don't create the pet trust. I don't create any of that. I create the underpinnings of the pet trust. The pet trust is only as good as the MAP plan in which it's inserted into it. Because you can make a pet trust, you can set money aside, but if the people and the pet care and the plans you want aren't elucidated somewhere, you're not going to have that plan taken care of. So you have to make sure the plan is reviewed every year, because people's lives change, your lives change, your dog's lives change. My dogs don't take any medicine this year. They may take medicine next year, and I have to make sure I update my plan. So now we're coming to the end of our 30 minutes, and I want to tell you about what I've decided to do, because I've run this webinar for 2 years, and I love it. It is my passion. But it seems that the people who attend, 30 people usually at a time attend, they leave thinking they can do it themselves. And God bless them. God go with them. I hope they can. But likely they don't. So I've decided in 2017, 2018, to create a MAP book, a Facebook MAP book plan, so that everyone can be part of this MAP family. Not only will we all work together to create the MAP plan at a significantly discounted price with exposure to all the information I have, plus exposure to me for an hour a week in a group setting, and 2 15-minute laser sessions with me so I can help you really pinpoint what you want to do, who you want to appoint, and how you want to address the care of your pets. You get half an hour with me, all for $19.97 a month. You can sign up for 1 month. You can keep going as long as you'd like. You call us, you email us, you say, I'm ending this month, great. So you could have a MAP plan for the grand total of $19.97, because we will do a letter a week. So that's 4 weeks, 4 letters. Or you can stick with it. You can stay with it and make sure that you really flesh out the plan you want to have. So you can stay for 1 month, 2 months, 6 months. There's no way at $19.97 a month that even if you stay 4 months and spend $80, it won't be well worth your while. What we're going to do after this webinar, if you want, is you'll have a link to get more information about the private Facebook group. I hope you'll join it, because quite frankly, your pet depends on you to join it. Your pet is depending on you to take the time, 4 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks, 16 weeks, to make sure you make a plan for their care. They are completely dependent on you. Don't leave it to chance. Don't leave it to your kids to know what you want, your husband or wife to know what you want, your neighbors to know what you want, your breeder, your handler to know what you want. Give them a map. Help them navigate that journey that you want your pet to take. And most of all, navigate the journey so that if you can, your pets can stay with you, because you've taken the time to set up their care so they can stay with you. Your life is enhanced every moment you spend with your pet. Don't cut it short because you're afraid you won't be around to care for them. The MAP plan enables you to not only care for your pet, but keep your pet with you for as long as you possibly can. This is Deborah Voivoda Hamilton. I am so grateful you stayed till the end. I'm hoping you will follow the link to the sign up for the private Facebook group, and that you'll join me this year and make this year the year you take proactive steps to assure the life and care of your pet, be it a dog, a cat, a bird, a horse. It is really important for you to make sure that those pets are cared for. I look forward to seeing you on the private Facebook group. It's going to be starting soon. And for those of you who can't start now but want to start later, it is a rotating program. So whenever you join, you can get that letter and then it'll start again. And you can get the next letter and it'll start again. So you will never be at a loss for creating a letter and then coming back and doing the rest. I wish you many, many wonderful years with your pets. I love mine. You can hear them outside barking. I don't know how I would live if I didn't have my pets with me. And I've made a MAAP plan so that they can stay with me long into my 90s, I hope. I look forward to meeting all of you, or as many of you as can join us on the private Facebook MAAP group so that you can create your MAAP plan for the care of your pets. Take care. This is Deborah Voivoda Hamilton of Hamilton Law and Mediation, helping you create the MAAP that navigates the journey your pet takes when you can't care for it personally. Be well and give your pet a hug for me. Thanks so much.